AITA forestall money from a friend. I, 26 meters, recently found myself in a moral dilemma after stumbling upon a significant amount of money that didn't belong to me. Let's call my friend John, 28 meters. John and I have been friends since college, and we share a close bond built on trust and mutual respect. One day, while visiting John's apartment to hang out, I noticed a large sum of cash lying on his kitchen counter. John wasn't in the room at the time, and I couldn't help but be tempted by the sight of the money. I knew that John had been struggling financially lately, and the thought of taking the money crossed my mind. In a moment of weakness, I succumbed to temptation and pocketed the cash when John wasn't looking. I rationalized my actions by convincing myself that John wouldn't miss the money, and I could use it to pay off some of my own debts and bills. However, as time passed, I couldn't shake off the feeling of guilt and unease about what I had done. I knew that stealing from a friend was wrong, and I felt ashamed of betraying John's trust in me. Despite my guilt, I couldn't bring myself to confess to John about taking the money. I feared that revealing the truth would only hurt him and potentially damage our friendship irreparably. Instead, I chose to bury my guilt and pretend like nothing had happened, hoping that the incident would remain a secret. As days turned into weeks, John began to express his frustration and confusion about the missing money. He searched high and low for the cash but couldn't find any trace of it. His distress only intensified my feelings of guilt, knowing that I was the one responsible for his financial loss. Eventually, the guilt became too much to bear, and I decided to come clean to John about taking the money. I confessed to my actions and apologized profusely for betraying his trust and stealing from him. I offered to repay the money and make amends in any way I could. John was understandably hurt and disappointed by my actions. He accused me of betraying our friendship and questioned whether he could ever trust me again. Our relationship became strained as a result of my dishonesty and theft, and I couldn't help but feel like the asshole for what I had done. Now, I'm left questioning whether I was the asshole for keeping the money I found or if I should have owned up to my mistake and returned it to John.
Let's get to the comments.
Yes, you are definitely the asshole in this situation. Stealing from a friend is a serious breach of trust and demonstrates a lack of respect for your friend's property and well-being. Your actions not only betrayed John's trust in you but also caused him significant distress and financial loss. Choosing to keep the money and hide the truth from John only compounded the harm done and prolonged his suffering. Your decision to come clean and confess to your actions was the right thing to do, but it doesn't excuse the initial act of theft. Moving forward, it's essential to take responsibility for your actions, make amends to John, and work to rebuild the trust that was broken. This may involve repaying the stolen money, apologizing sincerely, and demonstrating through your actions that you are genuinely remorseful and committed to making things right.
Next comment.
Yes, you are definitely the asshole in this situation. Stealing money from a friend is a clear violation of trust and friendship, and it's morally wrong. Despite your rationalizations, taking advantage of your friend's vulnerability and financial struggles for your own gain is selfish and unethical. Furthermore, your decision to conceal your theft and pretend like nothing happened only compounded the betrayal. By not owning up to your mistake and confessing to John about taking the money, you prolonged his distress and frustration over the missing cash. Although you eventually came clean and confessed to your actions, the damage to your friendship was already done. John understandably felt hurt, disappointed, and betrayed by your dishonesty, and it's likely that your relationship will never be the same again. In the future, it's essential to prioritize honesty, integrity, and respect in your relationships, especially with friends. Theft and deception have no place in genuine friendships, and it's crucial to take responsibility for your actions and make amends when you've wronged someone.
Next story.
AITA for declining to lend money to a friend in need. I, 30F, recently found myself in a difficult situation when a close friend, let's call her Sarah, 28F, approached me for a loan to help cover her rent. Sarah and I had been friends for years, and we had always supported each other through thick and thin. However, when Sarah asked me for financial assistance, I hesitated to agree. Sarah explained that she had fallen on hard times due to unexpected medical expenses and was struggling to make ends meet. She assured me that she would pay me back as soon as possible and promised to prioritize repaying the loan once she got back on her feet. While I sympathized with Sarah's situation and wanted to help her, I couldn't shake off the feeling of uncertainty and hesitation about lending her money. As someone who values financial stability and careful budgeting, the idea of loaning a significant sum of money to a friend made me feel uneasy. Moreover, I had heard stories from mutual friends about Sarah's past struggles with managing her finances and fulfilling her commitments. While I didn't want to judge her based on hearsay, I couldn't ignore the lingering doubts in the back of my mind about her ability to repay the loan in a timely manner. After much deliberation, I decided to politely decline Sarah's request for a loan, citing my own financial obligations and the need to prioritize my savings and budget. I reassured her that I was here to support her in other ways and offered to help her explore alternative solutions, such as budgeting strategies or assistance programs. To my surprise, Sarah reacted with disappointment and frustration to my refusal. She accused me of being unsupportive and selfish, claiming that true friends would always be there for each other in times of need. She argued that by declining to lend her money, I was turning my back on her when she needed me the most. Feeling guilty for causing Sarah distress, I second-guessed my decision and wondered if I had made the right choice. I questioned whether I was being too cautious and self-centered by prioritizing my own financial security over helping a friend in need. Now, I'm left questioning whether I was the asshole for declining to lend money to my friend, or if it was justified given my concerns and priorities.
Let's get to the comments.
You're definitely not the asshole for declining to lend money to your friend, Sarah. Your decision was understandable given your concerns about financial stability and past experiences with Sarah's struggles. It's important to prioritize your own financial well-being and not feel pressured to put yourself in a difficult situation to help someone else. You offered alternative forms of support, showing that you still care about Sarah and want to help her in ways that align with your own boundaries and values. While Sarah may be disappointed by your decision, it's essential to respect your boundaries and understand that your financial security comes first. Ultimately, you acted in a responsible and thoughtful manner by considering your own circumstances and offering support within your means. It's not selfish to prioritize your own well-being, especially when it comes to financial matters. Therefore, you're not the asshole in this situation.
Next comment.
You're definitely not the asshole for declining to lend money to your friend, Sarah. Your concerns about financial stability and past experiences with Sarah's financial management are valid reasons to hesitate. It's clear that you care about Sarah and want to support her, but it's also important to consider your own financial well-being. Offering alternative forms of support, such as helping Sarah explore budgeting strategies or assistance programs, shows that you're still there for her and willing to help in ways that align with your boundaries. Your decision was made with careful consideration for both your friend's needs and your own situation, and that's commendable. While Sarah may be disappointed by your decision, it's essential to prioritize your own financial security and well-being. It's not selfish to set boundaries and make decisions that are in your best interest. Ultimately, you acted with thoughtfulness and consideration, and that's what matters most.